I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? It's Weekly Weird News.
All right. Now, if there's anywhere on Earth where positivity and faith in humanity thrive, it's up there in America's hat, Canada. A little over a year ago, a group of optimistic Canadians set out to prove once and for all that humankind is inherently decent and moral by sending HitchBOT, a robot seemingly made out of trash, on a 10,000 kilometer cross-country hitchhiking trip all the way from Halifax to Victoria.
HitchBOT's robotic functions were simple. He had a GPS tracker built in and a camera that took photos at 20-minute intervals to send back home. And he could hold very simple conversations. Random strangers would pick up HitchBOT on the side of the road, drive him some distance, and drop him off on the side of the road until another kind stranger helped him on his journey.
The initial ride across Canada last summer was such a heartwarming success that the team behind it sent HitchBOT on similar journeys across Germany and then the Netherlands, where once again HitchBOT succeeded in creating a joyful, unifying experience for all the people he encountered.
After so much success elsewhere, the next step for HitchBOT was obvious. Hitchhike across America, the land of opportunity. So, starting in Salem, Massachusetts, HitchBOT set out for San Francisco on his most ambitious journey yet. It was gonna take a whole lot of kindness and generosity to get HitchBOT all the way to the Pacific Ocean.
But, like so many Canadians before him, HitchBOT's journey south of the border into the land of freedom ended abruptly when he was beaten to death in the city of Philadelphia. That may be the city of brotherly love, but that love apparently does not extend to robots or Canadians, and especially not to Canadian robots.
Yep, just 2 weeks into his journey, in the early morning hours of August 1st, HitchBOT was waiting on a bench for his next ride when an unknown assailant dismembered him, leaving his remains to be found by HitchBOT supporters the next morning.
A supposed surveillance video of HitchBOT being murdered quickly surfaced online, but just as quickly it became apparent that it was a hoax video orchestrated by YouTubers Jesse Wellens and Ed Bassmaster from the BF vs. GF channel.
Is it Bassmaster?
Who gives a shit? They were also the last people to pick up HitchBOT, so I don't think they actually murdered him, but they still used the opportunity to get more views for the YouTube channel, so that's kind of scummy.
Sure.
So the killer is still at large and probably will never be caught.
Yeah, in a post to Facebook, HitchBOT's creators lamented his untimely death, but also announced plans to carry on HitchBOT's journey with a new HitchBOT sometime in the future. They also wrote, as researchers, we wanted to know, can robots trust humans? And it looks like they got their answer loud and clear.
Not in my country.
No, get out! Also, I think this is a ploy just to show that America is violent, and they did this on purpose to make us look bad.
They didn't need help. How is it hard to believe that the city of Philadelphia killed this robot?
Well, he had a smile on his face. He was asking for it.
Hey, that guy looks too happy.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with him?
Hey, what do you look at me for?
Hey, you look suspicious. Cheese steaks. The Eagles.
Hey, this robot's not American.
Yeah, get him out of my country. We're not allowed in Philly anymore. We're gonna face the untimely
cheese
death.
whiz.
Another Philadelphia.
They're only famous for punching things.
Yeah.
And Meek Mill.
And Meek Mill. Oh no! Damn it, Meek Mill. But in other humans behaving badly news, if commercial air travel stresses you out, get ready to be even more stressed out and probably avoid Kuwait Airlines from now on because their pilots are apparently just horny old dudes who chain smoke in the cockpit on transatlantic flights.
Yeah, so this disturbing look inside the cockpit came from an unlikely source. Chloe Khan, a former porn star who also competed in the UK X Factor a few years back before being kicked off the show for doing cocaine.
Now she's on the XXX Factor.
Yeah, she's also rich because she married the owner of some big porn company.
Oh, great. So on a flight from London to New York, she was immediately invited to the cockpit after takeoff, where the self-proclaimed naughty pilot asked her to sit on his knee, smoked around 40 cigarettes, served her champagne, and let her play with the controls, saying it was fine since the plane flies itself.
That flight's only like 5 hours?
Yeah.
How do you smoke 40 cigarettes in 5 hours? You have to be just going out of your way.
Yeah, just fiddle with the controls, and then fiddle with my
the plane
joystick.
flies itself.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, you know, there's too many rules. And the guy also apparently had a tie clip that said Mile High Club, and he told Khan that he'd fucked most of the stewardesses on the flight. He also had no problem with Chloe Khan taking pictures of the whole experience and posting them on social media. Whoops!
So it turns out letting passengers into the cockpit and chain smoking cigarettes are they're pretty big no-nos in the aviation industry. And now this naughty pilot is hopefully gonna have some of his flight privileges revoked. So thanks, ex-porn actress Chloe Khan?
Whistleblower.
The Wrath of Khan.
TSA needs to put her on every flight and just sort of honeypot.
Yeah,
pilots.
she's an air marshal
Yeah.
for the United States and London.
Just sit there all fucking tits out and shit, and like go on up to the cockpit. And she's like, boom,
boom,
TSA.
Yeah,
You're
Air
not a
Marshal
pilot
Khan. You've just been served the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now that we're terrified of flying again, let's just stick to ground transportation, like this 2,000-foot-long slip and slide at New Jersey's Action Park, the most notorious water park of all time.
Yeah, so back in the 80s, Action Park was known to local hospitals as Traction Park, Accident Park, and Class Action Park for its poorly designed and outright dangerous rides, its undertrained, under the influence staff, and the numerous injuries and even deaths that occurred as a result of all that.
We could do a whole video just about this theme park because that's how infamous it was.
There's a whole internet documentary series about it.
It's incredible. Anyone that I've met from New Jersey that's like my age or older has stories from this park. It's
they
great.
all were either injured themselves or know someone who was injured.
Yeah. Take this for example. Just look at the Cannonball Loop. Yeah, that's a water slide with a vertical loop in it. And yes, it was actually open to the public, although only for a month before the state of New Jersey told them to shut it down after numerous injuries were reported. 1 or 2 injuries, fine.
Yeah.
Numerous, all right. It's getting some press. Why don't you guys shut that down?
So that online documentary about how ridiculous this place was is called The Most Insane Amusement Park Ever, a very accurate title. I highly recommend watching it. But anyway, I kind of assumed that the Action Park legacy ended when the park shut down back in 1997 and reopened under new ownership the next year as Mountain Creek.
Ooh, sounds more majestic.
Yeah.
But nope. Last year, the owner said fuck it and changed the name back to Action Park because you can't live without nostalgia. They changed it back for some incomprehensible reason, and they're back to their old absurd ways with not only this endless downhill slip and slide, but also another attempt at a looping water slide, which is called the Sky Caliber, and it not only has a vertical loop, but also begins with a straight down free fall.
Yay!
Yeah.
This time, though, riders will go down the slide in a safety raft that they'll be strapped into. That also looks like some sort of coffin from the future. Just strap yourself in.
I don't know, whatever.
I was just, when I was reading this, I was like, wait, Action Park still exists?
Yeah.
I thought for sure this had been shut down by the FBI.
The FBI comes in, shuts it down.
You were killed too many people. But
the
nope, it's back.
ATF.
Thank you, New Jersey.
Space coffins. All right. You know what else is really crazy that our species has accomplished recently? Riding a motorcycle in the ocean. This week was amazing. Australian stunt biker Robbie Madison had, for whatever reason, been wanting to find a way to drive his motorcycle on the water for years, and for whatever reason, DC Shoes helped him manifest this vision.
They love doing ridiculous stuff, all those Ken Block videos.
Rob Dyrdek was like, I can use this video on ridiculousness if you film it because I own DC Shoes.
Oh,
there you go.
Smart. So anyway, yeah, look, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's also really, really stupid, but still really cool too.
Yeah.
He had a dream and he made it happen.
Good
He rode
for him.
a motorcycle on the ocean.
Good for him. Anyways, it's time to switch gears and go over the most absurd headlines these are actual headlines, by the way, that appeared in legitimate news sources and websites this week.
Oh, wait. We're not gonna talk about Lizard Man?
Yes, let's talk about Lizard Man. South Carolina's version of Bigfoot is called Lizard Man, and apparently, he's been caught on camera.
Ooh, my God, look at that. That's Lizard Man.
That's terrifying.
That is an actual half lizard, half man.
I don't want it walking around in my backyard.
Nope. I mean, this is gonna just blow up the world of biology.
They can
evidence.
They can catch a hitchhiking robot, but they can't catch the Lizard Man?
Oh, they need to catch him. He needs to be stopped.
You know what mine was in Florida? We had a Bigfoot too. It's called the skunk ape, and he smelled. There was reported sightings when I was a kid growing up.
I'm sure.
And he's real. Anyways, can we get to headlines now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's start with Iowa Taco Bell closed for decontamination due to meth lab in utility room.
This doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of assumed everyone working at Taco Bell was on meth already.
Did we have this on here? Because if not, we should talk about it now. The fact that someone found meth in the bottom of their In-N-Out milkshake.
That's a headline coming up.
Okay, well, they tie in perfectly.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Giant 40-foot minion balloon causes traffic chaos in Dublin.
It's massive.
I would have just ran up and hugged it. You know how I feel about those things.
I would have driven my car right through it.
If I died by getting smothered to death by a 30-foot tall minion, I think I'd be fine with that.
Well, you'd make for a great headline on this show.
Great. Local internet host.
C-list YouTube host asphyxiates himself hugging 40-foot Minion balloon.
That's how I want to go.
Rick Perry to Donald Trump. You, me, pull-up contest.
I think that's the only way to solve it.
I can't. The first debate's gonna be tomorrow.
Yes.
The Republicans are really outdoing themselves this time
I
around.
don't care if you don't live in this country. You need to turn into the Republican national debate Thursday night and just let it wash over you.
Yeah.
Just let it wash right over you. And it's also the next day is Jon Stewart's last day on The Daily Show, right?
Oh, man.
So that's gonna be good. That's gonna be real good. Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
Lots of very ripe stuff for the picking. He better do a good job.
Well, back to fast food news. Subway clerks ignore robber until he just goes away.
Oh.
They were teens, they just apparently were just like,
I don't care about Subway's money.
whatever.
Just make teens do all the hard jobs.
Make them fly planes.
Yeah.
And operate rides at Action Park.
There we go. Drone delivers bundle of drugs to prison yard, causes serious hoopla.
I chose this one just because of hoopla. But apparently, a drone dropped a fucking shitload of drugs.
And tobacco.
Yeah, but it just dropped in the prison yard.
Everyone was fought over him.
So it just caused a fucking riot.
Yeah, that's how you do it. It was
Yeah.
probably an inside job. You're like, let's thin the herd, cause a riot. People
It is kind of
I
like...
need to beat someone. I haven't beaten someone recently.
Yeah, it's like if you're training dogs to do dog fighting,
Yeah.
which you shouldn't. But if you are, you toss like a big old piece of steak into the pit and they...
How do you know
fight
so much
over it.
about dog fighting, Elliot?
I don't know.
Man arrested on drug charges claims marijuana is salad. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Didn't
is
work.
a classic
It's
excuse.
cooking a salad.
Yeah, this is oregano.
Athletes at Rio Olympics to compete in, quote, basically raw sewage.
My favorite part about this is that they literally instructed the swimmers to go down there a year early so they could swim in the...
Get acclimated to the sewage.
They have to get sick now so that they don't get sick during the Olympics. That's a real thing.
Develop your immunity to our highly toxic water.
Yeah.
What? This keeps happening. Why do they keep putting major sporting events in places that it doesn't make sense? They're doing this in Rio where the water is shit.
Yeah.
They're having the fucking World Cup in Qatar where it's like 150 degrees out. People will die on the field. They had the Winter Olympics in Russia in a fucking resort town for the summer. And the next Winter Olympics is gonna be in China in a part of the world that had no snow this winter.
Elliot for president of the world. All the problems will be solved.
Ugh.
Let's get back to this headline. Man sues In-N-Out Burgers claiming that he found meth in his drink.
I think he's lying, but
I mean, with the Taco Bell thing, it kind of makes sense.
well, Taco Bell, drugs,
In-N-Out
whatever.
In-N-Out
In-N-Out
is a
is
bit higher
owned
up
by
there.
a family company. They're a
Nice
family.
Christian family.
They're Mormons, actually.
Oh, yeah, well, same thing.
Yeah.
They're like stricter.
Yeah.
Because Jesus came to America.
Right.
Yeah. And then that guy was like, yeah, I found these
I got
stones.
the tablets. You
Yeah,
can't see 'em.
can't see him. Only I can see him.
Whoops, lost him.
Yeah. Oh, no, I can do it again, but it'll be
Uh-oh.
a little bit different.
Uh-oh, they're coming to lynch me because I've got a bunch of wives. Let's all go to Utah.
Yeah.
What a great
Anyways,
story.
that's a really short story of the Mormon religion. New DEA leader. Pot, probably not as bad as heroin, but I'm not an expert. I don't know. I'm just the DEA, head of the DEA.
The funny thing is this is seen as a improvement because the last DEA head made no distinction between the two drugs.
Yeah.
So
I'm not an
they're
expert.
Like, all right, progress. This guy says that it's probably a little less bad than heroin.
You would think that they would get a drug expert to be the head of the Drug Enforcement Agency.
Well, if they had an actual drug expert, marijuana would be legal within minutes. They'd be like, oh, we're spending how much on this shit?
Hit the like button if you're burning one right now.
We're spending how much money to try to stop people from smoking weed? Well, this is just mismanagement.
Texas man injured as bullet ricochets off of armadillo.
This isn't even the first time this happened this year. It happened back in April, but it ricocheted off the armadillo and like shot the dude's mom in the back. Stop shooting armadillos. They're armored. They have armor on the outside.
Yeah. They have evolved
Also,
to defend themselves against bullets.
Why do you need to shoot an armadillo? They're just minding their own business.
Yeah, they're just rats with helmets on.
Just because you live in Texas doesn't mean you have to shoot everything you see moving on your yard.
I don't know. Have you driven through Texas? All of their road signs have holes in them. They'll shoot signs. Got him. FIFA exhibit to open. Stupid. FIFA exhibit to open at America's National Museum of Organized Crime. It's just stupid.
It's great.
I love it.
What do you think that National Museum of Organized Crime is?
It's just like mafia people and like Whitey Bulger exhibits.
Where
and
do
then
you think it
FIFA.
is, though?
Boston?
No, it's in Las Vegas, baby!
Oh, good. Yeah, they built that whole city on
The only national museum they get.
Yeah, take that. And like the Desert Museum. Like the we tested nuclear weapons here museum.
Yeah.
That probably exists.
Probably.
Anyways, that's it for Weekly Weird News this week. What was your favorite headline? And keep sending us stupid stories.
Yeah.
At RickyFTW.
Just make sure they're real.
And
My
at
Twitter is at edewberry.
Yeah, do your own fact checking.
Due diligence.
Yeah. All right, bye. Watch Tech Tuesday and our podcast with Rick and Morty.